Sugar. Oh, you got
Welcome everybody to the what? I got a what now? You're already fucking up the intro. I'm on live.
My
This is
bad.
live. I don't know. So everybody, welcome to the show. You know our names. Sober. I don't know what's my name. So we're playing some cards this week while we're doing the show because everyone hated staring at his stupid screen. So that's what we're going to be doing. If you're wondering why that's happening, just let him win a hand. So at any rate, we got a lot of shit going on as usual. Big shout out to the Throwdown guys on Thursday for having me on. That was a blast. I'd love to do it again sometime in the future. We had the whole belt unveil thing. That thing is on its way to Pale as we speak. He will have it on in his dungeon tomorrow morning, probably around 10:30 a.m. So Pale, if they let you out of that dungeon to accept packages and whatnot, try to keep your smudgy hands off it. At least get some pics with it or something. You know, stone cold some beers against the side of it. You know, whatever you got to do. Sober, how you doing this week?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Coming off a series win made me feel better about the team, and now I was looking forward to the show.
Yeah. You had an island to deal with the other night in the not Daily Island, but you had the Drug Monkey Island the other night. How'd that go?
You know, he plays really similar. Oh my God, we have the same hand. He plays a lot similar to Daly. He pretty much sits on you the whole time. You have to be really on top of your game to get anything done. First game, I seen to handle it all right, but
what I find those two, especially Drug, even more so than Daly, which is saying something. He's so aggressive with the poke check. He anticipates it better than almost anybody.
Yeah.
So you have to. He like kind of draws you in. It's like, oh, I'm open for a pass, and then nope, he steps up, and the thing's like going the other way before you know it. So.
And he doesn't take pens.
No. Look at this. Drift King wants to get in on this poker game. Do you consent to this?
Sure, bring him on in. Whatever.
I got a show to host, man. I can't be bothering with this shit. Drift King. Aren't you tired? Don't you have to work soon? Go to bed. If you can figure out how to get him in, go ahead. Otherwise, I'm all set. So,
not paying attention.
I gotta ask before we get going with the topic, the main topic of the night. I wanted to know how you felt about being on Mag's team because I'm concerned about my co-host. Would you when John Monkey gets back and things, would you rather sit on the bench on a winning team or be traded to a team that isn't so good but you have full PT? You know what I'm saying? I was kind of wondering that. Yeah, I just want to air it out.
Yeah, that's a hard one. I mean, I've never been that douchebag prick that's gonna raise all mighty hell if I'm sitting on the bench. But at the same point, I was the third overall pick. Been traded once from a team that I guess I requested a trade from, and now I'm on another team that might not use me. That's kind of a tough pill to swallow. But at the same point, I want to play. I don't care where I play. I just want to play. So you can take that as you want it, I guess would be the best way to put it. I don't see myself being a bench player. So I just, yeah, I'll leave it at that. I'll say it, take it as you want it. I don't foresee myself being a bench player, but I understand if that arrives.
Well, I hear you. Of course, you had a 5 of spades. What a joke. Do you guys see that? That's insane. Look at my 5 high flush. Or a plug. I agree with you, Sober. I don't think you are a bench player either. I don't think anybody thinks you're a bench player in this league. But isn't it weird you find yourself in a scenario where that could be an actual reality? You know,
I thought about it too when you said that was going to be the question of the night. I was kind of like, Megs had he traded for Joe, which was the 7th overall pick.
Yep.
He was on the bench. And then he traded for me the 3rd overall pick, and now I might be on the bench. So, it's
Fucking
just
weird how that's working.
yeah, it's like,
You know,
yeah.
good fold, Dick.
Oh, nice. Showing the ace. Wow.
Mmm. Getting a little flushy myself over here. So, I mean, take it as it will, as you said. I don't know, man. If I were in your shoes, I'm just throwing it out there. I would not want to sit. If I'm a first round pick, if that's how I'm valued, if that's how the league valued me, then no, I wouldn't want to be sitting either. I wouldn't. Don't get me wrong. I would never raise a stink or anything like that, or it is what it is. But I would not want to be sitting either. Who the hell jumped in this game with us? It is Drift King. Jesus. Well, whatever. I mean, hey, if anyone's watching the stream and you want to jump in on Prominence Poker, just join off of Sober, and you can sit here and lose money to both of us. So, we're going to get into our topic, unless you want to add anything else to that.
Yeah. The only thing I would add is I'm not going to be the guy that's going to be sitting in the background yelling and screaming. If I'm benched, I'm benched. I'll take it as it is. But I just want it out there that I do want to play, and I think I'm good enough to play. So, yeah.
I think everybody thinks that. You know, and to clear the air, you did not ask for a trade, correct? I just want to throw that. I don't want to make it, because it kind of sounds like we're going down that route.
Yeah,
but no, you did not ask for a trade.
I did not ask for a trade whatsoever.
Okay. Nor will you, is what
Nor
you're
will
getting
I.
at.
No.
Fair enough. All right, well, guys, that pretty much wraps that up. We're not going to be doing too much crazy league coverage as far as games played and stuff like that tonight. We got a little something different up our sleeve. As you guys know, the site's going places. It's growing. People are loving what we're doing here. We got all the media shows. We're getting tons of positive feedback. We got the championship belt. I mean, that's in play. Drift King calls with 6-7 to catch straights. I can't even look at the screen. You know, the site's going places. The league's going places. It's growing. Everybody's having a good time with everybody. That's what I'm seeing anyways. And it's, guys, it's only getting better. I'm going to bring on my guest tonight. This is my bench player, so everybody knows. Darak. My 6th round pick, which, before I even get into anything, that's criminal. This is another guy who probably shouldn't be a bench player, but nobody knows him, right? So he comes in, nobody knows him, and he's kind of in the background, just getting back into the swing of the league, having not been in them since probably 2014 or so. So, Rock, say hello to everybody.
How's it going, everybody?
There he is.
Good to be here.
His beautiful Canadian voice. Welcome. Rock, you want to tell everybody what you're doing here tonight?
What my role is here?
What is your role? Do you know your role?
Well, I'm not sure I know it fully
What are you
yet,
cooking?
but working on it. Basically, I guess I was hit up a couple months ago, or a month and a half ago, and I found out about this site and this league, and I'm absolutely blown away, by the way, before I start anything. That's the media shows are amazing. That belt was absolutely amazing that gets passed around and everything. That's gonna be a great feature to the league. But yeah, they hit me up a couple months ago about looking after a site and maybe speeding things up and changing things up a little bit, just to maybe catch up the site to with what the media is doing right now. And so I'm looking into being maybe the technical advisor, and we've got lots of plans. Maybe first we're going to switch servers, and it's not going to be any more of that slow, crappy website that you guys have been dealing with for the longest time.
And just to cut in, right, we all know it's terrible. Sober, how bad is it? I mean, that's the worst part about the league. It's the only bad part, really.
Yeah. I mean, it's been better, but it still sucks.
Yeah, and it's GoDaddy. Like, a lot of it's GoDaddy. We've had other leagues, and they're just a hassle to deal with and not a great server company. So what we've done is not only did we switch from GoDaddy, we decided to go with a VPN route, which is a virtual private network. So that will allow us to have our own server, basically. So it's equivalent to if you're using GoDaddy as like an apartment where you're sharing, you have roommates in an apartment, all the furniture's there and everything, but you're living with people that are, eating your food and using your electricity and everything, and it's not the greatest setup. And it's all right if you have good roommates, but most of the time you're with other websites that are not great and they're taking all your resources. Whereas this is like having your own apartment. So there's not giving me. So go ahead.
No, I was just so I was gonna say Sober. You know a little bit more about this stuff than I do.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of what you do,
Yeah.
a little bit sometimes, right?
So,
So what is he saying? What's the bottom line here?
well, my question would be, who's gonna host the server?
Okay, I've already got it set up, so we've already got that processed. It's Digital Oceans. I've done a lot of research, and they are by far the best rated site hosting site. It's basically you get your own computer and then your own Linux, and then you just install your own software as you need it. So I've installed all the back end stuff, so I've got it all up and running. We've got a fake forum, a dummy forum up just to make sure it runs and everything, and it's running smoothly, beautifully. So we're going to be looking to probably setting up the future forum in the next week or so. And then, of course, there's a lot of work involved where you have to set up forums and the permissions and everything like that. So it's not going to be open immediately. It's going to take some time for everybody to set it up.
Right. Yeah, it won't be like an overnight thing. It won't be like flip a switch. So, so it's like a virtual server, and we're VPNing into that virtual server by a Linux.
Yeah, exactly. So it's our own, and the way it's set up is it's modularized. So if we get slow at all, if there's any speed problems, it's very easy. It's just a flick of a switch, and you can add more RAM, more hard drive, all that stuff to your package, and then you can double your processing speed, and then so that if you do have some slow down time, you can pick it right back up, so that we shouldn't experience any more slow sites or slow loading.
Nice.
Well,
that's huge. Especially if we go.
Sorry, guys. I just had some technical issues. My bad. I'm not sure what I missed.
Oh, you're good. But yeah, you know what I mean, though, Pixel. Like that we like hosting the draft right on the site.
Absolutely.
We haven't been able to do that recently because of this site.
That's always been a problem. And I've had other leagues, and we've done other drafts, and we've all had problems at when all of a sudden 100 people show up and they're all accessing everything. It's just the site's not meant for that kind of demand. Whereas this, we can prepare ahead of time. We can get it up and make sure that it's not going to be slowed down for when 100 people show up, and really get everybody really involved in the draft, and everything should be really, really good. I'm excited.
Yeah, I think we all definitely are excited for this. So you've kind of gone over the benefits. One of the big things that I wanted to talk about tonight was the scoreboard and what it can do. Now, again, I'm going to preface this. I'm not saying that we're going to do all this stuff, because ultimately that's up to the people that run this league. You know, the Yams, the Hughes, et cetera, et cetera. But there will be things that you can do in this scoreboard, stats that you can track, that this scoreboard we currently use definitely doesn't and can't and could never track. Rock, if you wanted to talk about any of the weird, cool little stats that you're able to put in if we decide to go that route.
Sure. I started creating this a long time ago. This is now officially probably around version 6 of the scoreboard. It's been 10 years I've been working on it. This version is the newest version, which uses I know it's going to bore everybody, but it's called object-oriented PHP, which is the newer version, which is going to be quicker. It runs a little bit better, and so basically I've got a full scoreboard all done with the older version. So it's just a matter of pulling items in and then upgrading it to the newer version so it works with the new site. So a lot of the stuff is maybe stuff that you guys weren't tracking, like penalty minutes. I know this scoreboard tracks time of the goal, the type of the goal, plus minus, fighting statistics, lots of different things. Drops when players drop, scorekeeper, who the scorekeeper is going to be, all that kind of stuff. So it's just a matter of if Yam or whoever wants to, who's running the league wants to enable those options. It's up to them. If not, you can definitely go without those.
So is that going to
Yep.
happen automated, or are you still going to have to
Yeah,
do all
it's
the manual
all
stat
automated.
entry?
No, it's all automated right now. I've already got it all done, that portion of it. It's basically all the inputs done, so a person will go in to, it's called a game manager, and it's all the statistics are on one screen, and it's all click, point and click. I've made it I must have spent probably 2 months just working on this one page. It's all just point and click. I've tried to make it as easy as possible to enter statistics.
Well, that's huge.
And
That's
yeah,
one of the biggest things for the
I'm hoping
captains.
that I'm hoping that it won't be. It's even though we're taking more statistics, the same amount of time will take to do the statistics because it's a lot easier to process it and everything. So I'm hoping that we're offsetting that.
Yeah. And Rock, you know how literally useless I am when it comes to technology. I've known this guy for a long time, so you can tell the listeners how poor I am, and I can tell you that I spent some time on this. Yeah, it's a true thing. I spent some time perusing the scoreboard today. He's got a dummy game in there already, right? So you can go in there and change stats and add goals and assists and time of the goals and stuff like that. I learned it in 2 minutes. It's literally brainless, which is amazing. I mean, point and click, bang, there comes your whole roster up. And the other big thing I saw, and if you want to touch on it, to tell them about it, it doesn't let you make mistakes. That's so gravy. So talk about that for a second, if you don't mind.
Absolutely, I've added an error checker to it, so you can't. If you're trying to save the game, it will check to make sure that there's no errors in the game. So, for example, if you have your lineup set and then you decide to change who's at left wing, and you remove one player and add another player, but you forgot to change that player's assist further down, that will automatically tell you that player is no longer in the game. So I know I'm not explaining it great, but it basically just double checks to make sure that there's no errors. Like if you're putting a 5-minute major fighting penalty in, that you have it set to 5 minutes. If it's set to 2 minutes, it'll warn you that it's the wrong time. All that kind of stuff. It just makes sure that you can't screw it up. There's no possible way, hopefully, that you can enter the stats and have it screw up.
Yeah,
but
there's
more on the sorry, cut you off. More on the automation stuff too. It's so once you submit the stats, then there's another program that runs that will take those game stats and then it will compare them to the time the goal scored and all that kind of stuff, and it determines plus minus. It determines star rating, a bunch of extra detailed statistics that normally you wouldn't have, and that runs automatically every minute after a game has been submitted, and then it'll automatically update it. So then it'll take that, then it'll also take those stats and then update that for the yearly stats, and it extrapolates it for. So you get lots of statistics. There's going to be, the scoreboard should be just right full of statistics if that's what you're into, which is what I am.
I am too, and I kind of hope they are. And it's not hard, guys. Like, I know people are like, "Oh man, stats." I just did it. I'm telling you. If I'm telling you, it's easy. It's smooth. Trust me when I tell you, it is. Oh, Drift King shouldn't have called that one. Yeah.
And we'll definitely
take a loss, loser.
We'll definitely test it out and everything beforehand before it actually goes to the league games, and we'll make sure that everything's running smoothly and that it's not too much work to take stats.
Well, if people can do the stats on the site now, it can't be more frustrating doing the stats right now, because like it's all really nice and simple, but if you forget one, like it doesn't tell you anything. It doesn't say, any of that stuff. So you got to really be mindful that you're doing it right.
It's just really primitive. And here's the other thing: when I was going through the scoreboard today, and I finalized a game. When I did, it brought up the 3 stars of the game. Now, those aren't going to mirror. They're not going to mirror the 3 stars of the game like on EA, right? This is a program
no, like
that's in the
I mean,
scoreboard.
they could if you were if you got the guy to input the stats, but that's just more stats to take, and it's just a pain in the ass. No, you want to try to limit the amount of stats you can take. So all we're doing, basically, it's what it does is the scoreboard checks to see how many goals you get, how many assists you get, how many hits, shots, game-winning goals, anything that's really important during the game, and it gives you points depending on how many of each stat you get, and then it totals it up, and then the person that has the most points gets the first star, second star, and everything like that. Now those numbers are just numbers I've based myself what I thought those numbers would be worth, so that's something that we'll be diving deeper into and setting up proper, so that we make sure that goalies get recognition and defensemen get recognition in the stars and everything like that as well.
Right. What else? I'm trying to remember, and forgive me, people. Maybe, yeah. I mean, this is your baby, so like, when you think of something, just fire it out, and we'll just go with it.
I mean, I've got the base site. It's all done. It's all ready to go. Like right now, tomorrow we could use it if we need to. Obviously, I want to add more tools and functionality. I want to make sure that the commissioner can start a league, can create games, can create the season. Move games around, people can trade each other, all that stuff. So that I want to make sure that all that back end stuff is there. So that's what I'm basically working on now. And I know a major focus I want to focus myself on when I'm creating this is the media, because I said it earlier, but the media here in this league has done an amazing job, and I think it's extremely important that it's easy to find, access the videos, access the radio shows, all that kind of stuff, and the articles, and make sure that everybody's got really all the tools available to create some really great articles and everything. And I think that that's something I'm going to really focus on to make sure that everybody has some good tools to use.
Yeah, it's a great point, because how many times sober do people are like, what's the link? What's the link for this fucking show? What's the link for this? What's the link for that? Can anyone put? And like, you have to post it in a chat box, you know, and that definitely probably frustrates some people, that they can't just go to the site and have like a banner or something. I don't know, whatever you want to call it, so you can look at you know, the link, and then that's a huge thing. For people to be able to do, in my opinion, to be able to log onto the site and be like, oh look, the Elitists are on tonight, bang, click the link. Oh look, Throwdown's on, Pass the Bleach is on, fucking Shock Show's on, because we have 700 shows, because we have content, and that's how we do it. So
what
that's
like
big.
write-up wise, like doing write-ups on the site?
Well, that's something like, okay, we've got this. We're gonna switch to Zen forum software, which if you've ever used it, it's amazing. It's maybe the best forum software I've ever used. It costs a little bit of money, but it's well worth the price. And we've got the chat box is already working and everything for it, so that's going to be still there. We're still going to have the chat box. The biggest question right now is the articles. We can get a plugin for Zenforo that allows articles, but it costs money, and we're not sure how well it works and if it really fits the league's need. But I'm probably going to end up making our own version. So I've done it in the past, and Chew Therapy's used it. Other people have used it in the media, where in the future, like if after the week is through, it'll show all the statistics for the players for that week. So if you're just doing like a weekly power rankings or whatever, you're just getting those statistics for just that 1 week. Those kind of tools. If you want to include players' stats, it's just a matter of clicking a button, and it'll automatically add that player's statistics for that season. So it really integrates the scoreboard data with the articles. We can really incorporate both, and should be really neat.
I mean, a lot of this stuff, Rock, is just like foreign to me as far as like, you know, the Zenfro and all that stuff. But like every time I see it brought up in those threads back there, because you're in those threads, the website. We have a website chat. You know, we've been working on it for a couple months now. And everyone freaks out. Every time you say something that sounds geeky to me, everyone's like, oh my god, and they do the daily noise. And, you know, so obviously they're pretty excited about it. Let me ask you this, because I was kind of wondering about this league uses GChat as a way to like communicate with their squad, which is something that I had never seen before. Will this site be able to handle like team forums, if that's a route that Hugh and Yam and Sniper and everybody else who's involved want to go.
Yeah, absolutely. It's way better than all the other, like V-Bolt and all the other forum software. Actually, it does a really good job for those team forums and communicating with one another with teammates. That's absolutely an option. It's going to be work on whoever is setting up the forum, because you have to create, obviously you have to create each team's forum, and then you have to add permissions for each player to get them into the forums, and then you have to do that every season. So it's a little bit of work, and if somebody wants to do it, then yeah, absolutely, the option is there. Hopefully one day maybe I can automate it, but that's definitely not going to be something I'm looking at right away. So that's going to have to be something manually done if somebody wants to set that up.
And just so that everybody has an idea, like, what does that take, manpower wise? Like, if they wanted to go that route, because what I'm talking about is having your own team forum. Like, you go onto the 239 site, and bang, you're on the Vanilla Nut Taps locker room, and everybody can chat in there and schedule and say, shit, I can't make it. And,
like having having your personal chat box per team. Is that what you're kind of getting at?
It's like having your own forum where nobody else can see it other than your teammates can see it.
Yeah, so it's just going to be like forum posts. It's not going to be like a live chat box that you can just walk in.
No, yeah, it's just forum posts. And that takes, if I were to guess, maybe an hour to 2 hours after the draft to set everybody up into the right places, and then the owners have to go and they have to set up their threads. But it's not too bad. No, it's not a lot. It's just if in the past, if you're doing, as the commissioner, if you're doing a lot of stuff, that can add to the weight of it. Like if you're creating the schedule and you're doing this and do that, that's just one more thing kind of thing. And but if I can take as much, that's what I want. The scoreboard, hopefully I can automate it as much as possible. That it'll take all that work away, so then they have that time to do these team forums or whatever other features they want to add. But it should you have lots of options. We can definitely do it if we want to.
But man, this is going to be great. I mean, how long have people complained about the site? Since I've been here anyway. I haven't been here that long, but
yeah.
I haven't posted much just because of that. Sorry, cut me off there.
This was. Well, how about like when somebody signs up on it? How is that going to work? Or is it still going to have to go through the automation process where somebody's going to have to approve the sign up? Or
that's options. You can turn that on or off. Usually you have email verification.
So you're talking about
so then an email will get sent.
Like the way it's set up now with the WordPress or whatever, it goes to like some Google document, right?
Is usually how it is. Yeah. But they've got other options. Like you can set it up so that
I can't answer
your posts
that.
are moderated until you have 5 posts.
I don't know if he even knows the answer to that, honestly.
Approves you.
Eso,
to.
Are you still in the party?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Did somebody get clicked off? Because Pixel was sitting there talking, and you were talking all at the same time, right? Like, on top of each other.
Oh, there we are. Something glitched out. Sorry for whatever that mess was.
Sorry, I guess.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second, do they really not hear what's going on or not?
So I guess just start all over. I have no idea what would happen there. The question, Sober, was what?
About like when somebody signs up on the site, are they gonna get notified that the email that comes through, and then on the other end, is somebody gonna have to approve that site sign?
Yeah, those are all options. It's how secure you want to run your site. You can set it so that it's you need an email verification. You need a legit email to get an account, or you can have it set up so that they have to have like 5 posts or 10 posts before they're legitimate, or you can have it so that somebody has to approve them. So all the options are available. That's what's so nice about Zen4 is that it provides you pretty much with any option. I can't think of one thing that it doesn't do that the other ones don't, that the other ones do. So it should be really good for us. The main thing I want to cover before I forget, because we've kind of skipped by it, were the stats. The archive stats, or not necessarily archive, but the statistics that are going on from Season 1 through Season 4.
Yep.
I'm going to do my best. We haven't fully figured out what we're going to do yet, but I'm going to do my best to integrate those statistics into the scoreboard, so then all those statistics won't be lost. They'll all be there so you can access them. Since there's not going to be as detailed statistics, then if you're looking at seasons 4, 3, 2, then you're probably not going to. The screen's going to be a little bit more blank. But all this, we shouldn't lose any of that information. So that's one good thing is all those statistics will still be there. The new score.
Right. So if you're, if you're worried, if Daly's worried about his plus 48 from 2 seasons ago when he used to be good, then that'll be there, so he can like look at it and stroke his cucumber and whatever he's got to do.
That's the next step I'm doing. The statistics will be this next week, setting up the forum and getting those statistics into the scoreboard.
So I mean, I'm just looking at my little nerd notes here for the site, just seeing if I missed anything. But guys, I mean, moral of the story is no more garbage site. I mean, that's like the biggest nut to crack, in my opinion, Sober. Yeah.
Well, the only thing I'll say to it is this site was kind of a quick setup site. I mean, they put some time into it, but it's not like it was, like you're cream of the crop right off the top,
Yep.
So I just want to make sure that everybody goes, oh, we weren't on this site just because of, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I mean obviously, and don't forget, everything takes time, money, effort.
That's the big part of it.
All that stuff. So the site has definitely served its purpose for what we've been doing, but we are getting bigger, right?
Yeah, it seems that
naturally. We're getting a little bit bigger. We're probably gonna grow a little bit more. So this is the right time to do this, I think, before, all of a sudden, let's say you get 150 members, and before you know it, that chat box has like 40 people in it, and the shit's out all the time. Like, that can't be happening. So kudos to the guys who run this place that foresaw that and kind of got on this now rather than waiting till it became a huge problem and then, turn people away because the site can't handle it.
Are we talking that this site's going to be up and running for NHL 18?
Yeah, the timeline. So the timeline, I wanted the new forum to be up by August 1st. Not open, but up so that we can start working on it and setting it up. Thankfully, I'm ahead of schedule. Oddly, I know, strange for me. But
wow, that is,
I can.
For anyone that knows this guy, and there are a few of you that know this guy in this league. Yeah, he's ahead of schedule, so holy shit.
And so hopefully, if all goes well, this Tuesday we should have it up and running, and hopefully get like I said, the statistics in. And sometime early August, we can start doing some stress testing, making sure that the site can keep up with the traffic. So we'll have to have some meetup of some sort, get everybody on one page and just keep hammering the reload button and see if we can crash the site. If it doesn't crash, great. If it does, then we just we're ready for the future. We can upgrade it.
Yep.
And then basically it's up to whoever's running the site who wants to, whenever they're ready to open up to the community. And I imagine that would be the plan is for the start of the next season, which is NHL 18. And it's just basically, I guess, playing it by ear, just taking it one step at a time.
I mean, it sounds great to me. What will your... Well, this is for you, Rock. What is your role here? I know we kind of went over that, but like, what is it that you're going to be doing as far as the site goes? Like, so that people don't think like you're running the joint, because you have run other joints in the past, and that's not what's happening right now.
I have no desire to run any leagues at all, in the least.
Yeah.
Even forums. I'm not sure how much I'm going to be participating in forums, but the technical side. Even when I'm not with the community or working with anything, I'm still coding. It's just what I do. It's just what I get enjoyment out of, and so that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to make sure that the site is fast, that it's a reliable server, and the scoreboard's a kick-ass scoreboard. And basically just make sure that all the technical side of the site is all up and running and working well, and
so
all that.
Here's a question that'll probably get posted at some point in time. So we'll say you get pissed off at the ESO. Easy
to think about. Yeah.
And you get pissed off at him, and you're like, "Fuck this guy! fuck whatever he's doing, or are you gonna shut it down?
No, like I have. You can Eso can speak to this, and nobody knows who I am. If you don't know who I am, I'm Pixel Slash, and I've ran XBS. I created the scoreboard there, and this is not mine. Like I've always said that, even XBS, that wasn't the stats and all that stuff isn't mine. I was more than happy just to leave it and let it run, and if they needed help, I was even willing to help. So I'm definitely. I have no plans on shutting anything down, and the information I'll try as best as I can to, like for when you're registering the forum software, whoever pays for it, whoever wants to pay for it is also going to be on the license, all that stuff. We're going to make sure that you guys are secure and you're not going to be screwed if I just take off. And speaking of that, the statistics themselves are very valuable. So I'm going to try to make sure that we can have a way so that you can download the statistics as they go. So there'll be a button that you can click so you can take the statistics, all the player statistics, and then take them into Excel and play around with them yourself if you want to, or save them or whatever. So then you don't lose that information. So I'll definitely do my best to make everybody feel safe and secure that I'm not going to take off on you guys. And
he's 100% right. Like, believe me when I tell you, what was that? It was like 10 years ago now, right? When that site was built over there.
Yeah.
Just about.
About that now.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's been going for 10 years, and there are guys over there that run it now. Great guys, by the way. At least I think they're all still over there. And they're still there with all his, scoreboard creations and stuff. I don't know who runs it now. I don't know how it works, but
I'm not sure either.
that thing when that was made, nobody, not even LG, and you guys all know how big LG is. Not even they had a scoreboard like that. And that was back on the Xbox 360 too, Rock, with like your avatar guy, that you made the avatar, and those all uploaded into the scoreboard, right? So if you were looking at the league leaders, like the guy who led the league in goals, his stupid mug would be there,
Yeah, this new one will also
so
have
you'd
that.
see that.
This new one will also have that. And I've heard that Xbox Live is bringing in new types of avatars, so we'll have to play it by ear when that happens. But for now, we'll have those XBS or the Xbox Live avatars will definitely be there.
And here's one that I know Daly wanted to talk about, because I mentioned it to him. So when he joined the XBS over there years ago, he missed this. He wasn't on board when you had this feature in that scoreboard. Do you remember the what is it, like your biggest cones or something like that? Maybe you know what I'm talking about. I know you.
Yeah.
Do.
I had a special page where it was a scouting page, basically, where you could take two players, or you look at your own scouting profile, basically, and it'll show you the statistics of who scored the most goals while you're on the ice against you, who scored the most goals with you, and it called them like the biggest pylon. Who's your biggest pylon? It. Yeah, that was the big one. Everybody liked that one.
That'll fit in good.
Right. Oh yeah, and I said, wow, that would be great for this league.
It's great for bragging rights.
Yeah, of course. You could just go to your page and be like, oh my god, I own XDALY. Look at it, my biggest pylon.
And that's definitely something we'll be adding. I can't guarantee that's going to be open on opening night because that's a little bit of work. But I mean, that's one of the first things I'd want to add because that was a lot of fun and everybody missed it kind of thing when I took it away. So hopefully we can add it back really soon.
You're kind of a mean guy. Why did you take it away?
Yeah. It's the upgrade on the scoreboard. I don't know if you remember, but the very first scoreboard I made was horrendously slow. Like it was just you couldn't even use it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So then I figured out the solution to that. So I made the version 2, and then that had errors where you'd input information for the game stats, and that would screw up. So it took me version 3 before I actually got a stable version that actually was half decent that ran. And the second version I think was the one that had that scouting page, and then I just didn't get time to re-add it when I hit version 3 and just never got back to it. But
gotcha.
Yeah, it's definitely something.
Is there anything else that you want to touch on, or Sober that you want to, maybe you have a question about that maybe you think other people are thinking about, like what else it'll entail and
so emojis, is it going to be relatively the same to the XBS site?
That is, those are packages. So you get a default set of emojis. I don't even know. There may be 10 or 12 of them, and I don't think they're that great. But you can go online and look up other packages of emojis, and you can add them. So like even if you come across one that you like that's kind of cute, you can save that one, upload it, and then link it to whatever text shortcut you want for that, and add it. It's really well done. So if like I said, that's one of the things that whoever's setting up the scoreboard or setting up the forum, setting up the permissions and all that kind of stuff, that's one of the other things that they can do. There's features like trophies. There's tons of stuff, likes and dislikes in Zen 4.0. It's just a matter of going through it and spending the time to set it up and everything like that.
Is there going to be the roll feature in the chat box?
The which, sorry? The roll?
The rolling the dice.
I don't know that one.
Yeah.
What?
So,
I don't know that either.
If you type in, I think it's /roll, it'll say, like, for instance, if it was me in there, it'd say, Esober roll the dice one time for a total of 5.
What?
No, I doubt it.
yeah. It's in this chat box, but they disabled it because they got overused. So it's just wondering.
You can include videos.
Well,
It will embed videos in the chat box, yeah, and pictures.
I think the current one. No, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Well, I've seen people post YouTube links in the chat box.
It only
in this
does
current chat
YouTube.
box.
It only does.
Okay, so this one again better, obviously, because we're doing things better.
Yeah, you can't
How
post,
it's done over
you
here.
can't post like GIFs and shit in there. It's just straight YouTube links.
There was a great analogy made the other day by, unfortunately, Daly, but it was a great analogy. 239's becoming like the Ring of Honor, right? Like if you follow wrestling, which I know a ton of people here do, Ring of Honor is like that step below WWE. Like we'll never be LG, right? That's not what we're trying to do. We're never gonna have 3,000 members. Like that's whatever they have over there, and 14 AHL alternate captains. I don't know, whatever the hell they got going on over there. Yeah. But we're getting to the point where we can really say we're going to be doing it better than any other of the smaller sites. That's the Ring of Honor, man. I thought that was a great analogy you made. So we're heading in that direction. Clearly I'm outside smoking and people are probably pissed at me at the table here. I forgot I was playing a game. I'm probably just folding everything.
Don't worry.
Yeah, like I said, I'm new to the league and everything, so I'm just still trying to learn everybody. But I've been watching some of the games, and I've been in 3 of the games, and it's so good. The players are so good. I got to give credit to the goalies. Like the videos I saw, the goalies were fantastic. It's just great to see so much talent out on the ice and everything, and then plus the talent in the media and everything like that. It's fun. It's been fun.
Yeah, it has, and they're adding guys constantly to the media. Ability was such a great add to the Throwdown.
Oh, Ability's
how
been
good is he
great.
on that show?
Yeah, just do some
Fantastic.
Patron. I'll do a
I
shot
mean, his
just for him.
opinions suck, but
Those
he's
pictures,
great.
those pictures are
You know.
fantastic.
Oh God, he's gold. He's gold. Gold, Jerry. He's gold.
Say goal point.
So here's the other thing I wanted to talk about too, as far as you personally, Rock, since a lot of people here don't know you. What type of, this is for future draft status here. So like, what type of player are you? Where do you like to play? What do you play? What's your style? What's all that?
Well, I don't know. I just like to play basically, but left wing. I'm more of a left side. I get a little bit lost in the right, but I'm not bad. But I definitely prefer left wing, lefty.
I mean,
I like to
not to
cycle
cut you off,
playmaker, but
yeah, not to cut you off, but I mean, you're good enough on right D to basically almost beat boys. Like we had them, you know. They were seconds away from getting torn their asses up in a write-up.
They should stopped you. They should stopped you. Remember how that goes?
Yeah.
The series?
7-6. Yeah, I know.
Can I just say something also? I watched the show. I watched the show with Daly, and like he said some nice things and everything. And same as Choo said some nice things about me. But there's a little bit of, I don't know, walking on eggshells. Like they're treating me like I'm the ugly stepsister.
Really?
Wait, what?
Yeah,
What?
a little bit. Like, well, they're being really
How
nice.
so?
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, you know how if you're trying to set somebody up and don't look all that great, but you say they have a great personality, it's sensing a little bit of
old
that.
thing. That's the oldest
Something a little bit of
line
that.
in the book. Yeah,
I mean,
everybody knows that.
Daly did say that the series would have been different if somebody else was in my position, but
Did he say that?
Yeah,
he
yeah.
might
He,
have
he
said
brought
that.
up.
I think
He brought up
he
the
might have said that.
switcheroo.
Really?
Mhm.
Interesting. I have like private
Mhm.
G chats I could bring up where he called you really solid.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
I don't
This is
know.
a shout out to Daly. He is 100% different in chat to he is on his show. Like he is like fucking a hard cut on his show. You go into fucking G chat and he's like, oh yeah, you're good, oh, and he loves everybody.
No, but you know what though? He will give you his honest opinion. He won't sugarcoat that.
Oh yeah.
Like if he
Right.
thinks you sucked at, he's like, dude, would you learn how to play center all of a sudden? Face-offs? Did
No.
you learn how to take draws? Ha! I did. Fuck you. That's why me and King Rome split. All right. Oh, I have a pocket pair, guys. Just so you know. So if you might want to get out of this hand, everybody.
Oh, I'm not. I'm sorry, no.
Yeah. This is the most lax show we've probably ever done.
Well, hey,
Just sitting here
the main
talking about the
focus.
site.
Yeah, the main focus was the site, right? Like, I don't know shit about the site. Let the person that knows about the site talk about the site.
I'm telling you, and I'm so excited because I was in there earlier, man, and it's so easy. Like it's like 2 minutes. It took me 2 minutes. Nobody
But even
wants
like
to
the
bet
stats, I tried to like the stack. If you're looking at the statistics, I created all the sorting table. I created my own code for all that stuff, so you can sort all the statistics by any type of category. I've spent a lot of time working on the back end, the exoskeleton of the site, and it should be running really smooth and really fast. So
Here's another one that's gonna come.
I'm excited.
So for the draft, when we do the draft, the way we used to do it was we had a draft bot that would do it, right? So it'd all be automated
Okay.
in the chat box. Is that going to be able to be a function? Like, is that something you...
Yeah, that's something we're gonna have to look into. We haven't touched that at all yet. That'll probably be a couple weeks. We'll probably start getting into that kind of stuff. I definitely can do something up. It probably won't be super fantastic. Like I don't know if anybody remembers the XPS drafts or whatever, but they had fancy graphics and all that kind of stuff. I won't probably have time to do that for the first one. So you might have to go to what more reliable what you've done in the past. But yeah, I'll do my best to help it out as much as I can if I have time to work on that.
Oh, I'm a hater, Daly says.
A hater,
Whatever,
huh?
Daily. I'm just fucking with you.
No, Daly posted in the chat box that I'm a hater.
Oh,
Sorry.
well, what's
Sorry.
who's
Please
going
give
all
me-
in?
Everybody, holy
I
fuck.
called
Oh,
it?
is this the
Oh
last
my god,
fucking
it was an
hand?
accident. Oh, this is what happens when you do a show and you're trying to play poker online.
Yeah,
I
motherfuckers.
didn't. I thought I was just calling a blind for fuck's sakes. Watch me win.
And, even
Anyways,
though this is like the last hand, I can't call that shit.
Look at this hand I called with. Look at this. 7-6 offsuit.
Hey, I
Watch
would have
it win.
I would have had you trounced 8-3 offsuit.
Oh god. Well, that one's over. Unless 8-9 comes. Nope. Nope. It's over.
I didn't even have.
What an idiot.
Fucking Joe. Shout out to Joe.
Oh, shout out to Joe, man. I didn't even know he was on the table with his big, beautiful woman he's got there. Do you see the woman create? Look at the character he created on the screen. Sober, take your controller and just if people are watching and fucking pan in on Joe's player, man. We started busting on him for the character he made, and
Oh, Jesus.
he was so look at her, man, and he was so serious. He goes,
Where's
I
the
spent a
Zoom?
lot of time on this thing, and he was just offended as shit. Yeah, I'll take your right stick and like you can zoom around the table. I don't think you can like really zoom in on her. Not that you'd want to look at it.
Yeah, I
But,
got it. So
she's not looking so good, is what I'm saying. Look at
Nice
who's
Reddit.
over there.
What
Oh, that's
the
Rev.
fuck?
Look, Rev Hellcat's looking good over there. My character looking good, and then Joe's got Aunt Jemima. That's terrible. You know what? I'm calling him.
Who the hell's
Taking
paying
his
for
money.
food?
Yeah, I don't know.
Damn it.
So-
I kind of want to call this.
We got off track here. How'd we get this off track? This is what happens when you play video games and you're trying to do a show.
Damn.
Sober's a hater in the chat box. Yeah.
What did you have?
Who?
You, King 4? Jesus.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna beat Joe. Watch, it's coming. It's
Oh
coming.
my god, I
There
should
it
have called
is.
it. What
Eat
the
it,
fuck
Joe.
did I
Sit
call?
down, loser.
I King Queen.
Oh, for fuck's sakes, he catches the ace at the end.
I King Queen
So
offsuit.
stupid.
I folded. Ah.
Oh, I just busted, but I have deep pockets, so I'm back in, baby. So, having said all that, fucking, we've been talking for
Oh, and
almost an hour.
I
Right?
love Chew, by the way. I do love Chew. Fuck him.
Why? What happened?
Well, he posted he agreed with the alien, and he said he doesn't think I've ever said anything nice about him.
It's probably true, but I mean, it's what really nice is there to say about the guy, if we're being honest.
He loves feet. He generally
He
loves
does love feet. He's got
See,
a weird foot fetish, dude. I sent him a picture one day of like my TV screen, and I was like propped up on the couch, right? So like I had, my feet were up in the air, so you could see my feet, and he goes, "Could you do me a favor and, maybe like the next picture, like take a picture with one sock on, maybe like if you have one with a hole in it and like stick a toe out, that'd be pretty hot." And it sounded, it was like funny, and then like he's been bugging me for pics of my feet for days. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but he's into it, so I mean, that's no
Each their
judgment.
own, man. No.
Oh yeah. So
Okay.
the moral of the story is, Rock is my bench player, and he shouldn't be. So just so you guys know that going on in the for the future.
Yeah, so
Um,
draft me next year, so I'm not creating the scoreboard and not playing. So.
yeah, there's that. How about that? There's a way, Sober, that you said. What if he takes everything away? If you don't draft the motherfucker, he's taking it all away. But does play all 5 positions and emergency
Willing and
goalie.
willing. Well,
Emergency goalie too.
it has to be a pretty
But that's
big
ugly.
emergency, but
Yeah, that's ugly. Okay, that's like Moose playing goal, basically.
it's NHL 14 was probably the last year I really played goalie. So
Yeah.
No, Chew's calling
Might
you out
have
for
met.
being a liar about the foot story.
Oh really?
No.
If you're gonna tell the feet story, at least tell the truth, man. I think that's the truth. Is it not? Did I miss anything? Chew, you listening? I'm not sure what I'm missing. I'll wait for that response. Maybe he sent it in G-chat. Nope, he didn't. So, winding down, I'm excited. I know all the admins are pumped that we finally get a solution to, the website and where it's going, better stat tracking, better usability, better forums, just better everything. Sober, I know this is something that you've been looking forward to as well. Rock's making it happen, and we definitely got a gem here on board to make this happen. There was, when I found out that they wanted to do this, I was like, holy shit, man, I wonder if he'll get on board with it, And like a few of us talked about it. And like,
Let's chat right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I'm like, I think I know a guy, man. I don't know if he'll be on board, but if he is, this is the guy. Trust me when I tell you to get this done. And you can ask any of the people that know him, man. This is definitely a big coup for the site. So thank you in advance, and thank you for all the work you've done already. Fuck, I'm just looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have
Oh,
a
you
picture of
guys-
that belt on the homepage.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
What about
definitely-
that?
Yeah, I'll definitely have a championship page set up so that the belt will be there, and hopefully we can get maybe big pictures. Maybe the captain can take a picture with the belt, and we can keep adding the pictures of every season's champion to the page and everything like that. So it should be pretty good. And I just have too much free time, is all it is. It's like I can do all this stuff. No life.
And I disconnected from the party again. This party is AIDS.
Talk.
AIDS.
I don't know what the deal is. Here's the other thing I was thinking about with the belt and the pictures of the captains and stuff. So, unfortunately, the belt was just made, right? So, D-Mart, D-Mart, you listening? He missed out on it twice, and Sober, you missed out on it. So here's what I'm thinking. I mean, Pale's got his time with it now. It's his time. Now, when the season's over, right, before it goes to the next guy, it should go to D-Mart for some photos, and it should go to you
Ah,
for some photos.
that'd be good. That'd be good.
Just
Down with
call
that.
again by accident. So, I mean, you know, to get all these photos on the site and all the champions on the site, the champion captains on the site, and hopefully that belt makes people want to captain in the future. You know what I mean? The right people, as D-Mart would say, to get in on it. And did nobody really call me? I had shit. Oh no, I lost.
No, nobody had a king. Like what the?
That's crazy.
It's gonna be a great tradition, I think. To
Oh,
captains.
I'm
taking
excited.
Pictures. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and like we were talking about with that belt, it's gonna add that. Okay, now I want a captain because I just want to have that belt around my waist for a while. Like it's.
Dom Silva, a while ago, I forget. I think we were on a show together maybe, and we were talking about the championship. Nobody really knew what it was yet, and he goes, "Oh man, I fucking hope it's a belt. I really hope it's a fucking belt, man." And he's like, "Nah, you know, I don't want to say that because like I'll feel bad if it's not a belt." But oh my god, it needs to be a belt. Like, and meanwhile, it was already ordered. Like the plans were already in motion. It was already a belt. So I knew it, and he's like, "Don't spoil it for me." But holy shit, that would be epic. I was like, well, and like I said, that just fits the mentality of this league.
No. Definitely.
Well, we're about
Oh.
an hour in.
Hey,
what's up?
so, why don't you talk about the bed selfies we sent you?
Dead selfies?
Bed selfies.
Yeah, he got one. That has nothing to do with feet, though.
He's just posting random shit in the fucking chat box. But you sent him a bed selfie. How does that
Yeah, I did. You want to see it? I'll send it to you too.
Well, that's really alright, but
I'm not naked. What do you
well,
think,
if you're
sleep
naked, then I'd say, hey, fucking send that shit. But
You know what?
Wearing
I'm in the mood to
fucking
give away
socks.
free money. So here you go. I'll call that. No, I just, you know, a nice tank, man. You got to show off the arms. He had to get a look. You know what I mean? I had bed head and everything.
ooh,
I shouldn't have called this. This was a bad idea.
what the hell did you? Oh no!
I just was in the mood to give away money. Wait for the spade to drop, though. Ready?
Oh,
There it is. Suck it! Yep, good try, guys.
Good
I
run.
bet you
good
thought
run.
you were good with your two pair there. I don't know who's sitting in that chair. Who is that? That was Ability. How'd that feel, Ability? Pretty good?
Jesus. Who's on here? So we got Rev, Drift, you, me, Joe, and Ability.
Yeah. Rev's holding her own. She got 6K. Joe's got 7. Sober with 9K. Of course, I'm in first place because that's kind of what I do.
Well, Joe
was
just throws around
14K.
money like nothing. He's like, fuck it, all in, fuck it, all in.
He's Aunt Jemima. He's got all the money in the world. He owns his own syrup factory. Look at him. Look at that character, guys, before we go off air. That is so terrible. Guys, I
the
put a lot of
blackish
thought
red
into this,
hair.
man. Yeah, it's just chubby and
Yeah,
just
what-
not.
it's-
I don't know.
What is going on? Like, even plumber's crack? Is that what I'm seeing right there?
It looks like a little bit of crack there. I'm not sure. It's tough to see with the leather vest and
Yeah.
what kind of pants those are. Those Lularoos? Is that a thing? I don't know. Whatever those are called. Well, Rock, is there anything you wanted to add? Like, is there anything before we go off air?
No, just basically just patience, guys. We'll get it going, and it's gonna be great once we get it going. I just want to maybe say thank you to you guys for allowing me to come on here and speak about the possibilities in the future, and you especially, Eso, for inviting me to the league and introducing me to everybody.
Okay,
It's been
stop
fun
saying
so far, and I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for drafting
Yeah, I did draft him.
me. Yeah.
Also,
Side towns.
and this is one last thing I wanted to touch on too. and you and I both come from the other league there, along with some other people here, and this is just kind of like set the records. Not there's no record to set straight, I guess, but like there are people here who knew how it was over there. It's not like that over here, and that's not to put anything down that they're doing over there. It's a completely different league. This is more of a you show up, you don't have rules restrictions, very few. Don't be a douchebag type thing, and you're in, and everybody loves you and takes you in immediately. Like I said, I've been here for really, if you want to talk about like 4 or 5 months tops, that's how long I've been here. If you think about it, I think since like February, and it's like I know everybody. Everybody takes you right in, and everybody gets a second chance here too. A guy like Mick Swagger, I know he gets a lot of airtime, rightfully so. But a guy like him doesn't flourish in other sites. He's got past history, and nobody would look past it. And Pixel, you used to make those decisions over there. A guy like him, he's just perma-banned. Am I right?
I mean, yeah. I don't know any of the history of what he's gone through or anything, so I can only speak about the. But yeah,
I know. I hear you.
It's different types. I call this what I refer to this league as the put up or shut up league. And that's basically what it is. Like, I mean, if you're good, people will tell you you're good, or they may not tell you, but you'll know it. And if you're bad, you'll know it. Like, people will say, you're not. It's not working out. It's small teams, man. You got six, 7 people per team. You can't fuck around with somebody that can't play. So you got to be able to help your team out.
Right. And some leagues are like that. Others aren't. This one is, and the whole thing was for the record was you over there, when you were over there in the other league, running it and doing what you didn't necessarily like all of the rules we had over there.
Well, I mean,
it's just that it causes so much. There's so many examples we could give. God, there's so many that are coming to me right now. But I mean, it really caused rifts between people, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. But it's. I mean, if you have anything that's run by a committee, you have 4 or 5 people running stuff, giving ideas. There's always going to be somebody that's not going to get their way. That's not going to get what they want. And absolutely, like for example, the gentleman rule, where 6 goals, 5 goals. And then you're not supposed to score anymore. I despise that. And trust me, I've been on the bad side of that more than I've been on the good side of it. Like I've been on the team that gets their ass kicked, and there's nothing more. I don't know. I find that insulting that somebody's flip dumping it into the corner and the goalie's flipping around in the net because that they can't shoot on them. Like it's just ridiculous. And I think, like I said, if it's in the game, just play it. Just do it.
Well, and then
so
if you run into one of those teams that don't necessarily follow that totally perfectly, but every single time do, is like, come on, now what? Like, okay, you flip dumping in, they come down and score. Well, now you try again, and it's so hard to turn it on and turn it off. Play one way, and then all of a sudden go, we can't do that. We can't forecheck. We can't. Oh my God, that was rough.
And it removes the responsibility from the losing team too. Like they figure they can do whatever they want then, because whatever. So they start going around hitting, and they don't even play their position anymore. They're just trying to ramp up their hit statistic category, and it just becomes a joke. And I just never liked it. And that's one of those things that. I'm glad that that this league doesn't have is that if you get 11 goals scored on you, then fucking get better in net and be better at defending.
It sucks, anyway. But it is what it is.
Yeah, it sucks to lose no matter what. So exactly.
I also like the simplicity. Okay, so in the other places that I've played before, you have restrictions of how many. It was done in blocks sometimes, and sometimes it was done a certain way. This league's simple. You're either full-time or you're part-time. That's it. If you're full-time, you're in there every damn game. You can run the best lineup you have every damn night, which is ideal. I think that's what everybody wants to do. They want the best chance to win. There were times, and I'll give you an example, where you had to mix and match lineups, right? And you would end up with a less desirable lineup. You didn't want to do that, so you'd put all your eggs in one basket, try and get the job done in a playoff series early. You don't, and now you got issues in Game 7 where everyone's playing out of position. You can't fill it. we had issues like that, and it caused like problems big time between friends. I mean, like guys that played together all the time, guys that drafted each other, guys that enjoyed each other, and then now you go years without speaking because of a stupid incident, because of stupid rules that were put in place that never should have been there to begin with, but you had to enforce them because they were there. So it's like, I'm so glad that that's a huge thing that 239 does not have, and I'm sure other leagues don't have it either, but we're here, so we're talking about it here. There's no rifts here. Do you feel any rifts here, Sober, between people? I haven't, and go figure, in a league where you can just dummy somebody.
Yeah, no, there really hasn't been, there hasn't really been that, I guess, emotional aspect of it all that much. I mean, especially ones that you hear about. I mean, quite frankly, when there is that kind of stuff, you hear about it right away. And there really hasn't been anything. But what I was going to touch on, too, about this league is the whole 3 games a night against the same team. I played
Love
in
that.
XPS first season. Hashtag looking better than land. Or vice versa, whatever
Here we
way you
go.
want to go about it. But that league, it was so hard to come on and get just pumped up to play 1 game. Or get pumped up to play 2 on a certain night. That was, for me, that was the hardest thing on the whole. Fucking hey, do I call this shit?
Yeah, I really like the 3-game system a night. It's one of the first things I
great.
noticed. I
Gotta
really
have
liked
a
it.
fucking
Yeah.
10. Gotta have a 10. Show me your 10, Kayla.
I hit the sit out button a while ago because we're winding the show down. But
She had a 10.
yeah, I mean, I wanted to touch on that too. I thought, and I've been talking this league up for a while now to anybody that'll listen, friends, whatever. I've brought a good amount of people in now, and that's a huge thing. Like, to me, to have rules in place that you have to enforce, in especially in playoff series where people are trying to like win games and shit, it sucks. And this is a big tip here, tip of my hat. It sucks even worse when you're the guy who has to enforce them. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I know that I know that you know what I'm talking about, Rock. But I'll just leave it at
Oh yeah,
that. It
I've
sucks.
definitely lost friends. Like Vega I was really good friends with Vega, and we had a falling out over how the site was or how the scoreboard was being run or whatever the league was being run, and it sucks. Like it's a stupid fucking video game, but I mean, it happens when you have this kind
Some
of
people are diehards,
situations.
right?
Yeah. And we were bringing this up because that's one of the big reasons you're here, and one of the big reasons that this whole website thing was able to be done, because you weren't going to do this if it was going to be like it was in the past. Like, you would not have put your time and effort into doing something
and
like this.
even now, I'm more looking at it as a software developer. Like I'm trying to develop the scoreboard, obviously for you guys first, and for the